In today's video, I am going to share with you 17 effective tips that you can use to live below your means. Living below your means does not have to be painful, and these tips are practical, easy to implement, and can help you save money, grow your wealth, and ultimately achieve financial freedom. Tip number 1 is to sell things you don't need. We all have items in our homes that we no longer use, and these items could be sold for some extra cash. Take some time to look around your house and identify things that you could sell. It could be old clothes, electronics, or furniture. Selling these items could give you some extra money to help grow your wealth and achieve your financial goals. Tip number 2 is to rent items. Instead of buying items that you only need for a short period, consider renting them instead. Renting can be significantly cheaper than buying, and it can save you a lot of money in the long run. For example, my partner and I are planning to build raised garden beds and garden fences this year, and instead of buying a saw, we will rent one for a few days. We will save money by renting, and we won't have to worry about storing the saw after the project is completed. Tip number 3 is to return anything you regret buying. No matter how frugal you are, you will sometimes buy items that you regret. Instead of holding on to the purchase, take advantage of the returns policy and get your money back or store credit. It may take some extra effort to return items, but it can make a significant difference in your budget. Tip number 4 is to repurpose your clothes. If you take a second to think about it, there is an unbelievably large amount of clothes around you. The average person owns 148 pieces of clothing, and if we assume there are 4 people per house with an average population size of 50,000, then the city roughly owns 29,600,000 items of clothing collectively. Repurposing your clothes can be a fun way to save money and reduce waste. You can turn old clothes into new items or modify them to fit your style. The possibilities are endless. Tip number 5 is to automate savings. Remembering to save money on top of everything else can be overwhelming. However, automating savings is a great way to reduce stress, live below your means, and build wealth. Many banks now offer the option to automate your savings, so take advantage of this and watch your savings grow. Tip number 6 is to have date nights at home. It's important to enjoy quality time with your partner, and having a date night is a great way to do this. From a fancy dinner to popcorn and a movie, the options are endless. Having a date night at home can be a fun way to save money and connect with your partner. Tip number 7 is to get a part-time job. If you have some extra time and skills, consider getting a part-time job to increase your income. Having a little extra money every month can make a huge difference in your savings and budget plan. Plus, you can use the extra money to grow your wealth and achieve your financial goals. Tip number 8 is to downsize. If you're looking to make some major savings and get your finances on track, consider downsizing your home temporarily. You'll get a boost from selling your home, and you'll have a much more affordable situation. Downsizing may not be an option for everyone, but it's worth considering if you're looking to save money and live below your means. Tip number 9 is to limit your credit card usage. We all know the negative sides of credit cards, but we can't deny that they can be incredibly useful when used well. However, in a time when you're trying to live below your means, it's imperative to limit your credit card usage and stick to cash. This way, you can only spend what you have, and you won't be tempted to make purchases you can't afford. Tip number 10 is to use money-making apps. With technology growing, there are more and more ways for people to make some extra money through money-making apps. Some notable examples are Swagbucks, which primarily works by paying you for taking surveys, and Missed Play, which pays you to play games. I've used both of these, and while the earnings aren't amazingly quick, they can help pay for a tank of gas once a month, which is already a lot. Tip number 11 is to grow your own veggies. I've been growing my own veggies for about 3 years now, and even though I'm in a northern climate, it's made substantial differences in our finances. Since we essentially don't have to buy produce for 3+ months, it reduced our grocery bills by about 15 to 20%. That's like saving $60 on $400 worth of groceries. Tip number 12 is to find low-cost entertainment. Living frugally doesn't mean not spending any money at all. It means making the most of your money, and sometimes buying slightly more expensive items with a one-time cost can help you save and live below your means. For example, my partner and I bought 2 blow-up kayaks, and it's provided endless entertainment for us for 2 summers already. So instead of eating out, drinking more frequently, or spending money in the city, We save by exploring amazing places near us. Tip number 13 is to reduce meat consumption. Meat is overrated. I know some may disagree, but when you start cooking with foods like beans, legumes, and tofu more frequently, you may quickly realize the amazing flavors you've been missing. One of my favorite dishes is a chili made by my partner that uses no meat but lentils, black beans, and kidney beans. Tip number 14 is to wash your hair every other day. This really depends on your hair type, but chances are you can at least get away with one day without having to wash your hair. Initially, you'll find your hair is rather oily, but after just a few weeks, you'll notice your hair regulates itself. For some, they can even go several days before they have to wash their hair. This not only saves you time, but also saves on water and electricity bills. Tip number 15 is to get a library card. Libraries are not just for students or people who love to read books. They offer a lot of resources that can save you money. From books to audiobooks, DVDs, magazines, and even access to e-books and e-magazines, a library can be a goldmine of entertainment and knowledge. You can also borrow equipment like sewing machines or tools. Tip number 16 is to batch cook. Cooking in batches is an excellent way to save both time and money. By cooking large quantities of food at once, you can freeze the leftovers and have easy meals for the next few days. This not only saves on grocery bills, but also reduces the time spent in the kitchen. Tip number 17 is to avoid brand names. Many brand names are overpriced and do not offer a significant improvement in quality. Instead, opt for store brand items, which are often just as good, if not better, than the branded ones. You can save a lot of money just by choosing a store brand product over a brand name product.